Welcome back to another live stream of Z Board Cyborg. And I'm always awful at the beginning, so bear with me, folks, while I get this good. Alright, forgive the noise in the background. I've got the old washer running, so that is what it is. Today we're going to do a little pickup video. Not too, well, about the same as usual, I would say. And we have 3 packages to unbox that I've received through orders on the internet. Hey, Lucy, what's going on? Thank you so much. Hey, Mr. Bob, how's it hanging? Thank you. You switched your name back, I see. Thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Before we get started, I just want to say, feel free to give this live stream a thumbs up. That really does help me get exposure and bring new people into the channel, which is certainly a goal of mine. And feel free to hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel and want to see more live streams like it. We do 1 live stream a week consistently at this point. And so, yeah, so we're just going to jump right in, guys. And we're going to get this thing going. So what do you guys want to see first? Do you guys want to see the unboxing of the 3 packages? Or should I unbox 2 and then save 1 for the end? What do you think? What should I do? Just watch the Diabolical Dr. Z. Was that one of those Mad Doctor movies? Diabolical Dr. Z. I think you've got me stumped on that one. I want to say that's like a Filipino movie. I think I'm off, though, on that one. So please do inform me. But let me get a sip of water here. Got my trusty rusty blade. Look at that. Rusty as hell. Give somebody tetanus and take their life. So guys, I almost got into a fight at the Goodwill today. I guess I should probably share this anecdote with you guys, because it's a very me story. So, oh no, I'll be careful. All right, so real quick, it'll just be a minute or 2 long story. It's not boring, I promise. All right, so I go to Goodwill today, and there's a gentleman. This is one of my pet peeves in life, and I usually open my mouth because I'm my mother's son. Early Jess Franco movie made in France from the 60s. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Jess Franco's work from what I've seen, but, you know, I do want to keep trying. So I noticed this gentleman, this big burly gentleman, and he's got his phone, and it's blaring, I don't know, some sort of religious, I believe it was just like Baptist Bible teachings or something like that. And I have no problems with people wanting to listen and to study their religion and all of that, right? Hey, Mr. Ralph, thank you for tuning in. I'm just telling a little quick anecdote here that I had at the Goodwill. I almost got into a fist fight. Not quite. But, so this guy is walking around Goodwill, and he's blaring these Bible verses, and I am this close to saying something, but you know what? I go, these days you can get shot, so I'm not, or stabbed. We're also in the South, so people have guns. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to bite my tongue. I go to the next Goodwill, and as if Providence had something to do with it, or as if synchronicity of the universe, the same guy's there. So we're on the same beat. He's going to each of the Goodwills like I am. And so the guy at the Goodwill, he's there, he's blaring his Bible verses again. Again, I have nothing. If it was music, I would have said the same thing. Also, if it was obviously a kid, I wouldn't have said a thing. Honestly, kids are going to be kids. This guy was older than I was, or at least looked older than I was. He was 45, 50 years old, and he was blaring his personal religious stuff for everyone to hear. And it was loud. The guy must have been hard of hearing, because it was fucking loud. And so, you know, I'm talking to the lady there, well, my friend Melissa and my friend Chuck, and I'm like, yeah, it's the ignorance of somebody to walk around with their phone. You know, Goodwill, Mr. Bob, is just a thrift shop we have in the United States. It's mostly a big scam, but that's where I get a lot of my stuff. And so I'm talking to the employees there and the customers. Everybody loves me there. Everybody knows me by name. And so, you know, I walk around the store. I go up to the front to pay for my stuff. And he's there, waiting. You know, the guy with the with the blaring phone constantly. And you know what? I open my mouth and I say, "Excuse me, sir." And I was very kind. I want to stress, I was very kind to this gentleman. I said, "Excuse me, sir. With all due respect, do you happen to have any headphones for what you're listening to. And automatically he went on the defensive, and he was like, oh, you better keep walking, man. You picked the wrong guy. You better keep going. You better stop talking to me. And I was like, I was honestly a little flabbergasted. I thought we'd at least be able to have a conversation. And I was like, really? I was like, I just would like to have a conversation here. You know, we live in a society. This is pretty much what I said verbatim. I said, we live in a society. Not everybody wants to hear what you're blaring on your phone. And I used very soft language. I don't think I would use the word blaring. The stuff that you're playing on your phone. And he would not engage in a conversation with me. He wouldn't even look me in the eye. And so he was like, oh, you better keep going, man. You better keep walking or it's not going to be good. And so we're getting close to like threat level stuff. And I was like, really? I was like, you're not, you don't even want to have a conversation. He was like, you keep going, I'm going to call the police. And I was like, okay. I was like, last thing I'll say is, if you don't want to have a conversation about me, about something that affects everybody here, then you're a coward. And I said that right to his face. And he said, all right, I'm calling the police. This big burly guy too. You know, I'm this little skinny motherfucker. And I was like, and I called him a coward right to his face. And he was like, all right, I'm calling the cops. And then they rung him up, and he went outside, and he was on his phone pretending like he was calling the cops. And the lady at the register who I'm friends with was like, what the hell? What's he going to call the cops up for? He was, you know, I did nothing to him. I guess maybe harassment. But I tried 3 times to reach this gentleman, to make him realize, to hopefully make him realize that we live in a society with other people. And, you know, this is why headphones exist, because not everybody wants to hear what you're blaring. And so that was really the end of the story. I went outside, I saw him on his phone, like pretending to talk to the cops or whatever. And I will say, I stopped talking, and he kept going. So I decided consciously to stop talking because I was getting nowhere with him. So he kept going, and on his way out, he's like, calling the cops. And I was like, okay, whatever, man. Whatever, feel free. I called my mother because I was just a little heated, and she was like, man, I would have told him to call the fucking cops and to, you know, please call the cops. My mom said she would have begged him. My mother was born in the Bronx. You know, we're from up north. We have mouths on us, and I feel like compelled sometimes to say things to people. I do this with people who litter in front of me too. If somebody throws something on the ground, I'll say, you know, this is not just your sidewalk, you know, it's everybody's sidewalk. Pick up your garbage, you know. And people get very defensive and very angry because people aren't adults anymore, so they don't like having adult conversations. Even 45-year-olds are kind of like kids, a lot of them that I know at least. So that's my little anecdote, guys, and I hope it was entertaining, because it really frustrated me. I had to call my mom right away. I kept my cool, and I kept my heart rate down because of my meditation. It was a good practice for me to meditate. But, boy, was that frustrating. So, he didn't call the cops, by the way. I went back later, and my friends there were like, yeah, no, he didn't call the cops. He was a coward. A coward who didn't want to engage in a citizen conversation, because he knew he was wrong. He knew what he was doing was selfish, right? All right, guys. So, couple things here. First off, I want to say I got a package in the mail from someone named Joe. And I'm not sure, Joe, if you watched the show or if you're watching right now. I don't know how you got my information, but I know it must have come from the YouTube channel because I was sent a couple Blu-rays. So first off, I want to say thank you to whoever sent these. It was a nice gesture. I already owned them, unfortunately. But you know, these were the 2 that he sent were in better condition, so I actually put those into my wall, and mine I'll bring to my shop. But this person, Joe G, I'll say, sent me 2 movies, 2 Kevin Costner movies, so I guess he's a Kevin Costner fan, or maybe not, that's why he was getting rid of them. JFK, the director's cut here, and the extended cut of Robin Hood. Again, 2 movies that I do enjoy, that I do really like, Oliver Stone, and this one's Kevin Reynolds. But I just wanted to say to whomever sent those to me, thank you very much. It was a little disconcerting that somebody got my address when I didn't give it out, and it's possible to find that, of course. But I just want to say thank you to whoever sent those. So, because they might hurt the planet, and we don't want that. Exactly. My take, Jolly Good, is this is we're all in this together. We're all a part of a society. We're all part of a human race that exists on the planet together, and don't do things There's a saying in libertarian thought that says that my liberty ends where yours begins. So, you know, frankly, when I see my liberty being encroached upon by litterers or people blaring their music in a Goodwill or Bible verses in a Goodwill, whatever it might be, at least have the decency to engage in a conversation with somebody that doesn't appreciate that. But he wouldn't even give me the time of day. So it is what it is. All right, so I want to get that out of the way. So thank you to whoever sent those to me. I've got a few packages here. We'll start with this first. This one I picked up because I got word that it went out of print, and that's dangerous for me. I'm not sure even where I found it. I think I was on the Bluray.com looking into this Blu-ray, and everybody was saying how it just went out of print and it's getting ready to shoot up in value. And I know that that's true because I know how anime collecting goes, especially Blu-ray. Now, this is a little short 45-minute OVA called Riding Bean. So, Riding Bean is a really simple, short, but really well animated and fun with great music and great character design. Sort of chase movie, or a chase short film. I've only seen it once and it was quite a long time ago, but it's action, it's chasing, car chases, all that good stuff. And it kind of reminded me, I saw Baby Driver after I watched this, and it kind of reminded me of Baby Driver, or Drive. Sort of that cool, kind of calm, collected character who's also a little quirky and goofy, like in typical Japanese fashion. But yeah, Riding Bean is a really fun OVA that mixes action with car chases and is very, it's obviously influenced by Western car chase movies, things like The Driver and even Bullet, things like that. But it also, I believe, helped inspire Edgar Wright's Baby Driver and even maybe Nicholas Winding Refn's Drive. So that is Riding Bean, guys. Chicago's only got room for one massive bean, and the main character's name is Bean. So, Bean Bandit. So it's visiting the Chicagoland area and in need of a getaway driver. Well, there's no better wheelman than Bean Bandit, the infamous roadbuster. Provided you've got the scratch, Bean and his blonde bombshell of a partner, Raleigh Vincent, will get you where you need to go. Not long after finishing up a sketchy job, the roadbuster is tasked with returning a young member of Chicago's elite to her family's estate. But what starts out as a simple taxi gig quickly becomes more than Bean and Raleigh had bargained for. So that is fantastic. Original Japanese language with English subtitles and an English dub. So I think that is excellent. And really looking forward to watching this on glorious Blu-ray. And that is Riding Bean, guys. This was put out by Anime Ego. Anime Eagle. Sorry, 1 second, guys. I just want to check something real quickly. Just want to make sure I was off the internet so that we don't have any problems. Sorry about that, folks. All right, next up, we've got another package here. Just going to do all of the unpackaging off the camera because I don't want my address getting out there. All right. Lucy says, my father works at a social department store. That kind of thing happens to him. Yeah, well, I mean, working there, it's one thing. Right, so working there, you have to say something if somebody's being ignorant or belligerent or just disrespectful. And, you know, nobody was speaking up at the Goodwill, so I did. And, you know, I'm probably going to get shot one day. If I do get shot, you guys will know what happened. I was probably telling somebody to be a better human. And you know, some people probably believe that it's not incumbent upon them to do these things. But I'm a member of a society. I've studied what that means. I understand what that means. And I feel disrespected when somebody does what that guy was doing. Now, that guy probably has never had an insightful moment in his life. Hence why he was doing something like that. Maybe he doesn't have the capacity for insight. I don't know, but it was a perfectly normal-looking 45, 50-year-old man who was just a belligerent and ignorant, stubborn asshole who just wouldn't even engage in a conversation with a fellow citizen about what I viewed as irresponsible and annoying, obnoxious way to carry yourself in public. All right, next up, guys, we have from Capcom. This is standard definition on a Blu-ray disc, so it doesn't look much better than the DVDs that I had that I brought to the store to sell. That is Mega Man, the complete series. So this is from the 90s, guys. This is Mega Man anime from the 90s. It's 27 discs. I'm sorry, 27 discs. That would be impressive. 27 episodes on one disc. Getting all of that on the Blu-ray disc in standard definition. Again, Discotek releases standard definition when they don't have access to the original, you know, when they can't actually remaster it and make it look a little bit better. They just put it on standard definition. My Votom's collection that they put out, most of it is standard definition, but some of it is HD. The stuff that they could bring into HD, they did. But I guess they couldn't find the original film negative. I don't exactly know how the processes go. But all I know is this is going to look as good as I need it to look. The Mega Man anime, it's very good, really good storytelling. It's from Japan, so you know the animation's good and the character designs are great. And yeah, this is from like the early to mid-90s. It didn't last very long. I think it was 2 seasons. So, complete series. Mega Man explodes into battle in 27 super fighting episodes. I love how it kind of looks like a Mega Man game. I think that's a really clever way to package it with the slipcover here. Do I wish it was high definition? Yes, but I knew what I was buying when I bought it. So that's Mega Man the anime. Not many people even know this exists. Alright guys, next up we've got, oh, I just showed probably my whole address, and that's what I was worried about. Oh well. That's what I'm assuming, like accidentally I showed my address on camera and somebody was like, ooh, I'm gonna send him something, which is very sweet, and I appreciate that. Again, thank you, Joe. Another one that was about time for me to pick up, and I really just wanted to get it over with because I have a feeling this will go out of print sometime soon. And that is Scream Factory release here with Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis, and Goldie Hawn. Excellent. All of them are excellent together. And this is a movie that really scarred me as a kid. And it's funny because as an adult, I recognize what it is. It's just a really sharp, satirical take on beauty standards in America and in, you know, in Western nations, definitely in America. And it follows this really insecure young woman who meets this other woman who has this potion, essentially, that will make her younger, right? And it's kind of like a monkey's paw thing. This woman takes the potion, Meryl Streep's character, and becomes younger and prettier, I suppose. And it turns out that this potion has a lot more negative side effects than she was let on to believe. Jolly Good says, 5 years ago at my local 2nd and Charles, I found an out-of-print copy of Sonic OVA, and I'm really happy I found it. That's really cool. Yeah, that's got to be hard to find now. And so what ensues is a madcap, wacky, almost cartoonish Looney Tunes-like adventure of these women who have essentially become immortal, but are also... It's been a long time, guys. I feel like they're also kind of falling apart. It's been very, very long. This movie used to freak me out when I was younger because of the weird special effects and like there's a head-turning scene and like weird body horror effects, essentially. Now, this is Robert Zemeckis. He's a fantastic, great director, in my opinion, one of the best directors of the 80s and 90s, and this is no exception, but not many people remember Death Becomes Her, a film that I watched over and over as a kid, even though it freaked me out. Uncanny Valley, for sure. I wonder how the effects hold up. Gungchi, thank you so much. In Japan on vacation. Ooh, that's awesome. Well, I hope you enjoy. Visit some historical landmarks and some maybe even Akihabara, which is the video game sort of haven. I'm sure you'll find some cool movies out there, too. Jolly Good, I do know the Mega Man show, but I didn't really grow up with the games. Yeah, that's fair enough. I grew up playing the games, and I do love them. It's my kind of action platformer. That movie is good. I need to rewatch it. Yes. Yes, you do. So, these 3 were the pickups this week that I got on eBay, guys. Riding Bean for like 17. I sold my DVD off, so it was even less. Death Becomes Her. Can't sell the DVD for much, but I got this. I sent an offer, and I got it for less than 10 bucks. And then Mega Man, I sold off both of my DVDs and made more than this cost me. So, that's how you got to do it. Next up is a funny little thing, not a movie, but movie-related, that I found at the Goodwill, and I knew as soon as I saw him, he had to come home with me. Now, this is worth quite a bit, so I will be selling it. As you guys know, I don't keep action figures or anything like that. But this I need to test, so it needs what seems to be 2 D batteries, like those giant cylindrical batteries. And that is this kind of funny Wolfman kind of get up here. I don't even exactly know what this is supposed to be from. But it is a Wolfman. It almost looks like Teen Wolf, but it also almost looks like the Universal Monsters Wolfman. I'm not sure. Any idea what this is from, guys? Because all it says on the back here is it came from Walmart probably many, many, many years ago. And made in the Philippines. Oh, it says there, oh, it's kind of scraped off. Monsters. It might even be Universal, which would explain why it's going for like $60 to $80. So this guy is supposed to probably move around. I'm not sure exactly what, but I'm going to pop some D batteries in there when I buy them, when I can afford to buy them, and see exactly what this guy does. But I thought this was cool, and that'll be a good 60, 80 bucks to put back into the hobby, or into rent, frankly. All right, guys, next up, this is the last of the weird stuff that I got, and then we'll get into the movies. I picked up for myself, for my collecting purposes and playing purposes, component to HDMI converter here, which is cool. That was $3. These go for like 20 to 30, so I was really happy to find this. And I'll be able to hook up my Wii to a HD TV, and it'll upscale it a little bit, make it look a little bit better. My hair's driving me crazy. I feel like it's thinning out. Ugh, never mind. I shouldn't worry about it. No, it's over here. It's like, you see how it's like thinning out here? I can't quite... Yeah, it is what it is. It's annoying. But next up, the last thing that was kind of weird. I can't wait for you guys to hear how awful this is. You guys like that music? What do you guys think? I can't. It's the worst thing in the world, isn't it? I'm trying to get it to focus. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, this is a Tiger unit here. That was, I guess, put out by Tiger and Sega. My God, you could turn the sound off, which is great. But I think the sound is kind of busted. I mean, it doesn't even sound right. It's not music. That's like the screechings of hell. And I keep dying, so that's why I keep shutting off. But this thing works. I got it for $4. I feel like, I'm not sure if I'll be able to sell it with the weird sound. I'll see what my boss thinks, but it is a Sonic 3. This was made in 2020, so not one of the OG ones, but 2020. And yes, it is a Tiger handheld. That music didn't annoy me. It sounds like nostalgia. Yeah, I hear you. It's just not very musical, is my point. I've heard Tigers that sound better. You hear that? It's like something's off with this thing. Like, I feel like the sound's going out. But still pretty cool to find, and I couldn't pass it up for $4. All right, we're going to get into the random piles of movies here. Ready? Here we go. We've got Rupert Bear. This one's for all my UK heads out there. I know this was a thing in the UK, Rupert Bear. There was Paddington, Rupert, Teddy Ruxpin. There were tons of these sort of teddy bears come to life kind of genre. And I remember Rupert Bear when I was younger, but I don't think it aired very much. Again, I believe this is mostly a British show here. But this is a Region B DVD, a Region 2 DVD, I should say. And it does fetch like 15, 20 bucks. So I'm going to be putting that up on my eBay store, which only has like 5 or 6 things at any given time right now. Anything over 30 bucks I put on eBay. Anything under 30 bucks I take to the store, pending that the store, I think, could sell it. So, do I ever collect Tiger Electronics? I used to, but I've gotten rid of my collection for the most part, just because to make room for, you know, more, I don't know, better things, if I'm being completely honest. Tiger handhelds sucked even back in the day, but we were satisfied with them because sometimes you got them for Christmas, but not to mention Little Bear from the 90s. Yes, Little Bear is awesome. I used to watch that all the time. All right, so these two here, guys, I picked up, and it was so frustrating because they had season 1 and 3. You guys know I'm not a big TV show person, but I've always wanted to watch this show because it's supposed to be one of the great science fiction stories ever told on television or in movies, etc. And it is a remake of the old 70s Battlestar Galactica. That is Battlestar Galactica from 2004. Now, again, I got season 1 and season 3. By the way, in like the worst possible packaging you could ever imagine. Look at this. Look at how miserable this is. Ugh. But luckily the discs are all intact. And did I say discs? Discs are all intact. And they are Blu-rays. And I ordered season 2 for like $9 or something that fits in with this. I think these came in like a special edition with a Cylon helmet. Cylon are the bad alien machines in this movie, or in this television show. Gongshi says, I loved Rupert as a kid. There you go. I know a lot of people were probably fond of it. So I definitely wanted to bring that up. But yeah, but these are, this is a show I definitely want to get into. I believe it's 4 seasons. We're going to watch 1, see how I like it. If I really enjoy it and I keep going, then I'll end up picking up 4 at some point. So, all right, so that's that. Battlestar Galactica, folks. Yes, I've heard good things, Gungshi, and I really want to figure it out for myself, whether or not if it's a show that I'm going to love. If it gets into, like, the politics, interstellar politics and stuff like that, I think I'll really dig it. So, next up, I found The War by Ken Burns. This is a Ken Burns documentary about World War II, and from 41 to 45, so America's involvement in World War II, I should say, because World War II started in 39 with the invasion of Poland, and arguably goes back even further with the Japanese and Chinese fighting for a long time before, throughout the 30s, starting in like 33 or 34. And yes, Ken Burns, everybody knows Ken Burns. His editing style has become legendary. In fact, it's something that I was inspired by as well with my YouTube channel. Everybody is. The slow zooms, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is another Ken Burns documentary that I don't think I have, so I added this to the collection. And I'm not sure if I showed these off. I don't think I did. This one I picked up to go to the shop, or actually, you know what? No, I'm keeping this because it has Fallen, and I want to watch Fallen. I have Fallen somewhere in my collection. I just can't find it right now. So I'm going to watch Fallen, and then I'm going to bring this to the shop because it's 5 DVDs, 5 films by Denzel Washington: Training Day, Flight, Book of Eli, Malcolm X, and Fallen. Among some of his best films there, Malcolm X, Training Day, Book of Eli is fun, Flight is great, actually, and Fallen, I don't remember loving Fallen very, very much, but I think I will this time around. So that is Denzel Washington 5-film collection. This one keeps falling out. I need to change the case on this one. But this one looks interesting to me. Another sort of historical period piece here. And it has Dolph Lundgren in it, which is interesting. So it's called The Final Inquiry. On the back here, it says, Rome's greatest warrior, Tauro, on a special assignment from his emperor, travels in secret to Jerusalem to disprove the rumored resurrection of a Jewish rabbi. So they're talking about Jesus, obviously. Now, there's another movie called Risen that follows a similar kind of plot, which came out much later. This is from 2007, directed by Giulio Basse. So it looks like a lot of Italian names here, so I'm thinking this was probably an Italian and American co-production here. And it says it has Danielle Liotti, Dolph Lundgren, Monica Cruz, Max von Sydow, F. Murray Abraham. So a really stacked cast there. I'm not sure where Dolph Lundgren fits in, but hey, I'm definitely interested in checking this out. This looks right up my alley. It looks weird. Not weird, I'm sorry. It looks interesting, I should say, because it looks like it has a budget behind it. It looks like it has a story to tell. So yeah, The Final Inquiry. Really looking forward to checking that one out. Have you guys heard of that one? That's one that definitely skipped by me. All right, next up we've got a couple here. A film that I've wanted to pick up for a while, but every time I find it, it's kind of beat up. That is called Runaway Jury. The older I get, the more I learn about politics and political theory and history. The more I like these sort of slow burn political thrillers, and I think Runaway Jury fits into that category. John Cusack, Gene Hackman, Dustin Hoffman, and Rachel Weisz. A brilliant suspense thriller with a powerful surprise ending. There you go. So that's directed by Gary Fletter, and I feel like Gary Fletter, I've definitely seen some of his work. I just can't think of anything off the top of my head that he's directed. But yeah, I don't know much about this, guys, but it's supposed to be a political thriller about a runaway jury. So there you go. Somebody that, I don't know, probably gets threatened on a jury and then has to escape. Next up, I picked this movie up because, again, I've been waiting for a decent-looking copy of it. Finally found it with, and it's called Reservation Road. This film is of note to me because I found out that this film was shot in my hometown of Stamford, Connecticut, in some of the more ritzy, more expensive areas of my city. My city's a very rich city that I grew up in, Stamford, but This was filmed in some of the suburbs, and I really want to watch it to see if I recognize any of the places, because I feel like it was mostly filmed in Connecticut, in Stamford, Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken. Dustin Hoffman from Kung Fu Panda. I can't say I hear he played a disability. Yes, that would be Rain Man. Yeah, he played an autistic man. So yeah. Yeah, so this is Mark Ruffalo and also Joaquin Phoenix. Oh, you know what? I think I've got this wrong. This is not the movie. The movie that I'm thinking of is something Road with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. But you know what? This looks pretty good anyway, so I don't know much about this at all. It says, gripping thriller, powerful human story of anger, revenge, and great courage. This film takes you on an intense journey that follows two fathers and their families, and as their families and lives converge after the events of one fateful night. So there you go. I thought this was the movie that was with Leo DiCaprio that was shot in Connecticut. I guess not. All right, next up, we found a really cool one. I wish they had more, but of course, I always find anime, and they only have one of the frickin' volumes. Brandon Chow, the VHS and DVD guy. What's going on, Brandon? Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. We have Final Fantasy Unlimited. I've never even heard of this. I didn't know Final Fantasy got an anime from the early aughts here. This has 4 episodes. It is phase 1, so it's the first volume, which is nice, so I'll watch it, see how I like it, and pick up the others if I see fit. And yeah, a Final Fantasy anime from the early aughts. I had no idea this existed, so this is really cool to see. That one's going in the collection. Next up, we have another sort of what looks to be a political thriller here with Ralph Fiennes and Donald Sutherland. That is Land of the Blind. Riveting, a taut and gripping thriller. A government agent is on a mission to subdue terrorists and overthrow a corrupt regime. It's a timely film and about revolution, romance, and betrayal. And so there you go. I don't know much about this at all. It was directed by Robert Edwards and written by Robert Edwards. And it came out in 2006. So about the time where Ralph Fiennes was doing a lot of these, like Constant Gardener, sort of political thrillers. So definitely looking forward to checking that one out. Never even heard of it. Yep, Final Fantasy, you got it. Never played the games? Hey, that's all right. They're not for everyone. All right, moving on, guys. We have a film called The Staircase with Barbara Hershey and William Peterson from Live and Die in L.A. And I don't know much about this. I think it's a religious movie, but not like made by a religious studio or anything like that. Let's see. I think it follows this guy who shows up in town, and he's a really good carpenter, and there seems to be an allegory for Jesus' resurrection kind of going on in this. I'm not exact. Maybe this is a Christian movie. I'm not sure, guys, but it definitely has Christian themes, no question about it. But I do want to check this out. This seems somewhat interesting. When the local carpenters built the chapel, they neglected to erect stairs up the choir loft, and due to the confines, mysterious stranger may be the answer to Mother Madeline's prayers. But Joad, his name is, faces overwhelming odds. The task defies the laws of architecture, and the town's corrupt businessmen want to ensure that the staircase is never completed. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on in this, but it sounds interesting enough. All right, next up, we've got another one that I am keeping. This is, I want to pick up all these films now because they deal with premillennial dispensationalism, which is a sect of Christianity that got popular around a little over 100 years ago, who are eschatological Christians who believe that the end times are near and that the Antichrist will rise and there will be, he'll come in the form of a politician. This is what the Omen movies are about, actually. That's what popularized this genre. And then that'll be a sign that the second coming of the Messiah will take place. I think it's all mythology, personally speaking. I'm not saying that that means that I don't believe in it, that there might not be there is a God or isn't a God. I'm agnostic on that question. I think both are feasible. But I do think that this end times eschatological premillennial dispensationalism stuff is a little wacky, but it makes for really, really cool movies. And a lot of these people that believe these things are in our government. And so it gets really weird really quickly. But I won't go into that. This is Tribulation. This is, I think, the third film in a 4-film series that follows it starts with the rapture, and then the rise of the Antichrist, and then the second coming. It kind of follows all of the beats of premillennial dispensationalism. But this is kind of a science fiction film. It deals with those heavy Christian mythological themes, Christian mysticism, things like that, which I really find interesting. So Tribulation, I think, is the third film in the series, and it has Gary Busey, Howie Mandel, and Margot Kidder. This one I picked up because I thought it was kind of cool. This is from '94. It's a short film, 46 minutes long, with Yogi the Bear. It's called Yogi the Easter Bear. And I've never heard of this, but I feel like a part of me has seen this back in the day on like cable at some point. But to see it on DVD is kind of cool, and I want to kind of refresh my memory. You know, when you watch something for what you think is the first time, and then you're like, wait a second, I think I've seen this. I think that might happen with this, but I wasn't like a huge Yogi Bear fan, but I watched a lot of cable back in the day, and that's what we did back in the day. So this is a DVD version of that. I think it's pretty cool. Hence why it's staying in the collection. Hope everybody's doing well. I'm about halfway done here. Just want to say thank you to everybody watching the live stream. Just another reminder to hit that thumbs up. It really helps out. If you're new to the channel and want to see more videos and live streams like this, hit that subscribe button as well as the little bell for notifications. Thank you guys very much. Back to the stuff. Back when Hanna-Barbera bought the rights to Cartoon Network. There you go. I didn't know that. All right, we've got a couple more here that I think I'm keeping. This one is based on the work of Tony Hillerman, who is a suspense writer that deals with Native American themes and characters, etc. And this one is called Skinwalkers, and it has a couple Native American actors who I really appreciate and enjoy. I believe Adam Beach is one, and then I know Wes Studi is the other. Yes, Wes Studi and Adam Beach. I've always thought Wes Studi had quite the charisma for a leading man. I wish the world was different sometimes, and I wish he got more leading roles, but he didn't. But this is one that deals almost exclusively, it seems, with Native American culture and crime. Because keep in mind, on reservations, they have their own police force that sometimes works in tandem with the state police force or the local police forces. So it says right here, Navajo police on his arm. So yeah, this should infuse an interesting perspective on the crime, thriller, mystery genre here. And Tony Hillerman, from what I hear, is a good author. So not really my type of book, but I'll watch the film. Yes, it's a PBS film. So there you go. It was a TV film. Next up, we have this James Garner movie that doesn't quite look like my kind of thing, but it seems to be a straight-up drama with Bill Cobbs, Ruby Dee, Lawrence Fishburne, and James Garner that deals with... I'm not sure what it deals with, if I'm being honest. Let's see if I could skim the back here and help out his boyhood friend who's refusing the government's belated attempt to award him the Medal of Honor. All right, so these two friends were in World War II. One of them is getting the Medal of Honor in a belated fashion and doesn't want it, and the other friend is trying to convince the friend why. It seems to be a bit of a mystery as to why he doesn't want it here. It says Albert Sidney is confronted not only with G's bitterness about World War II, but the silent war he and the black man have maintained for almost 30 years. So it obviously takes place during the Civil Rights Movement, post-World War II, and we'll deal with race relations, things like that. So I want to check this out. This is one of those Hallmark movies, so I don't know if I'm going to like it. Bill Cosby, yeah. Fuck Bill Cosby. All right, next up we have a really cool one that I was excited to find. I got to put it in another case, even though it's got fucking stickers all over the actual artwork. This is called Felicia's Journey. Another one, not worth much, not very valuable, or I'm sure it's out of print, but not very sought after. Joanna Cassidy and Bob Hoskins. I believe Bob Hoskins plays a serial killer in this movie, and that's really all I know about it, guys. This is a film by Adam Egayan. I like the film, one of his films that I've seen called Exotica. I thought that was really good. I forget what else he's done, but he makes these really weird, bizarre, kind of almost fourth wall breaking philosophical treatises. I thought Exotica was really interesting in the way that it played with the audience's expectations and consistently subverted them, and then subverted those expectations. It was just a really interesting film. And I thought Adam Egayan was an interesting filmmaker for me to look out for, and I picked up his film, Felicia's Journey. Looking forward to checking that out. Bob Ross DVD. Yes, I did have a Bob Ross DVD for a while, but I think I got rid of that one. I'm not going to really sit down and watch that stuff. A lot of that stuff kind of died in the 80s and 90s for me. You know, it's like Lamb Chop. I'm not going to go back and watch Lamb Chop. You know, maybe watch a commercial on YouTube or an episode on YouTube here and there just to go down memory lane, but I don't necessarily need to own that stuff. All right, next up, some of the stuff that I'm getting rid of, and then we'll show some mix kind of stuff. This is actually one I'm keeping because I think my copy of Bad Boys, first of all, it's not by Anchor Bay, so it doesn't have this awesome liner artwork there. Look at that. I just think that is magnificent. That is such a cool little chapter liner. Anchor Bay always did great work. So this is a prison movie with Sean Penn that, like I said, I do have on DVD, but it says complete and uncut for the first time. So I wonder if this is more uncut or longer than the cut that I currently have. Either way, this is widescreen, so I'll be keeping it because it has that cool chapter liner there. Next up, one that I'm moving because I already have it on DVD. That is Johnny Dangerously. This is a film by Amy Heckerling that I've yet to see. I don't know much about it. I've seen some memes and stuff like Fargan Ice Hole and stuff like that. But it's a mafia parody. It's a mafia movie, but a comedy. And so Michael Keaton's in this as Johnny Dangerously, I believe. Joe Piscopo as Vermin, so his buddy, I guess. Peter Boyle, Dom DeLuise, Danny DeVito. It's got a lot of names here, and it's supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to be a send-up, a parody of 30s gangster films. So this one I'm really contemplating selling. It's worth like 30 bucks at least. And it's very cool. I might watch it and see if it's my kind of thing, see if it's worth keeping in the collection, or see if it's worth selling at the 30 bucks. But that is Animusic HD. 9 totally different music animations. So it's music mixed with early CG from, or like, I don't even know what this is. It fuses one-of-a-kind CG with digital music, producing an entirely new genre of visual entertainment. So there you go. This has re-renderings of Pipe Dream from Animusic 1, as well as 8 animations from Animusic 2, meticulously reworked. So there you go. It's got music from Animusic 1 and 2. I don't know, guys. I'll have to give this a shot and see if it's my kind of thing. I think it might be. I think it's going to be trippy and kind of cool. But it is worth like 30 bucks. All right, so we've got some VHS here, guys. Some family-friendly VHS that are going to go to the shop. The first one up is Fantasia. I think we've already sold one copy of this on VHS. I love the black box. I always love the black box. That's pretty cool. We have Monsters, Inc. We have sold 2 of these so far with the blue tape. My brother found one, I found one, and I found another. And last, but certainly not least, Barney's Great Adventure. I love you. Barney's Great Adventure, the movie. I watched this movie incessantly when I was a young man, a young boy. This movie came out in 1998, so I was 10 years old, and it came out at a time where I was trying to hold on to those things that I loved when I was even younger than 10, and I was, you know, this was one of them. I was not ashamed of it. I do want to rewatch this movie on DVD at some point because it'll be a stroll down memory lane for sure. But I love you. Frickin' Barney, man. My childhood from the 90s. Was that actress from Dr. Dolittle? I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, it does look like her. The young girl, yeah. Actually, both of the kids here look pretty familiar. But they're not on the back because they weren't anything at the time, I guess. But yeah, there you go. I picked up an Xbox game, which was nice to see. And that is... that's not a sports game. And that was 007 Nightfire, a game that I do have back here on the GameCube. It's supposed to be the best on the GameCube. So I'll be bringing that to my shop. Here we have a 4-pack that I thought was pretty interesting. It's a little scratched up, so I might have to run it through the resurfacer. But we have... It's the worst case on the planet. Sorry, I was just completely disappointed with how they built this case, and I couldn't hide it. Anatomy 1, Anatomy 2, Double Vision, which is a weird one to have on here, and April Fool's Day, but the remake of April Fool's Day. odd choice. But again, Anatomy 1 and Anatomy 2, it's kind of cool seeing those on DVD, so I'll bring that to the shop. Somebody will enjoy it. Jolly Good says, I remember my grandma owned a Barney movie on VHS when I was a kid, and several Barney tapes for the kids. Yes, 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 yes. Good stuff. Next up, a couple for the store. First Blood, brand new and sealed, and Deadpool. Those won't have a problem selling at the shop. And we've got one last stack here of movies, guys. First thing, I just picked this up today on my way home. That is The American Revolution. I'm not sure if I'll keep this. I hate the packaging. I might sell it to get one in better packaging, if that exists. It's worth about $20-25. It sold apparently for $90, which is insane when it came out. But it's 5 discs, and it's a History Channel sort of, oh, that's cool, documentary about the American Revolution, of which, you know, I am surely interested in. In Congress, look at this. It's like it's a replication of the Declaration of Independence. Look at that. I love the opening lines. When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to it's a little cut into should, and two should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You know, it's a political document, so I am a bit of a Machiavellian. I approach these things with great trepidation, but as an American who is passionate about the ideas that our forefathers laid out, even though it was in an effort to gain and consolidate power from the British Crown, I do think a lot of them believed in these ideas, and I certainly believe in a lot of these ideas. And this was a radical document at the time, and it means a lot to a lot of people. And I still have a lot to learn, of course, but man, was that quite the document. And it's still, its importance reverberates through history, even still to today. Because nobody has the rights at least codified into their constitution, like the freedom of speech and how radical that idea is. Listen, this country's not perfect, I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying some of the ideas that it was built upon are important for individuals to hold on to. All right, so another copy of Deadpool and a copy of No Country for Old Men. That is also going to be for the store. We have a couple here that are also for the store. Glass and Alien Covenant. I don't think, I'm pretty sure I have Glass. I'll have to double check, but we'll see. And then we have some cool ones, guys. Yes, these are all pretty cool. So these are going to the store. I'm not sure if they're out of print. I'm going to have to check, but we have the entire Halloween Town collection. This is something I missed when I was a kid because I was a little too old at the time that they came out. But you have Halloween Town 2, Halloween Town High, and Return to Halloween Town. So the 4-film collection here, either going to the shop or going on eBay. I'm not exactly sure. But these were old Disney Channel movies that a lot of people are fond of to this day. Next up, we have the big heavy hitter of the entire lot, believe it or not. And I need to get this into a better case because it is damaging it. But that is Life Size and Get a Clue, double feature on DVD. Now, why is this special? Because this is worth like $70. They are selling at $70, this DVD, guys. Luckily, I have no interest in Get a Clue or Life Size. These are both, I don't know, young adult Lindsay Lohan movies from the early aughts, or maybe no, it's got to be early aughts. It's definitely not late 90s. But yeah, this collection is worth quite a bit of money, $75 to be exact. So I will be selling that and banking some money. Next up, we have a 2-film collection of Dune. I actually don't own the Dune movies, so I'll probably keep the DVD around until I find the Blu-rays. I'm okay with having the DVDs for now. I loved both of these movies, and especially the second film. The second film blew me away. I think it's one of the best films of this decade and of last decade. Possibly one of the best films of the century so far. We're a quarter of the way through it. I can't believe that. But yeah, Dune and Dune Part 2, I love where this story goes. I love that it doesn't pull any punches. It's not wishy-washy. It tells its story, sticks to the book, and has a lot to say. And I really am looking forward to what comes next by Denis Villeneuve with the Messiah of Dune, or whatever the hell he might be doing. Children of Dune, I'm not exactly sure what's next. Hey, what's going on, Byron? Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. Right back at you. Thank you very much. And last but certainly not least, the film that made me cry like a baby. And that's not too hard to do. I'm pretty... I am easily... How do I say this? I allow myself to be moved by events in the world, by movies, by art, and I don't hold back. My friends all throughout my life made fun of me for that, but it's okay. I think I'm in touch with who I am, and I'm not worried what people think about that. So this movie made me cry like a baby because of its implications, because of what is on screen, because of what it implies, because of what it's trying to say about humans and human nature, and how some people just don't learn until it's too late, and loved ones suffer because of that. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get the sticker off before I reveal what the movie is. I will say it's a Brendan Fraser movie. It was his big comeback movie. And, I think that is amazing. Wonderful and pure. Well, thank you, Byron. I appreciate that very much. I'm comfortable with who I am. Confident with who I am, and I'm not worried about people's perceptions of me. But when it comes to my hair, I get a little weird. I will be honest with that, yeah. I love my hair. My hair gives me my strength. And as it's thinning out as I get older, But I'm human. We're all human. Guys, that is Darren Aronofsky's The Whale. The Whale, this movie shouldn't work. This movie should not work, because a lot of Aronofsky's work kind of approaches satire, approaches dark humor. This does in a very smart way, but it's also just a tragic drama. This is like Greek tragedy for the modern American mind. This man, we have an issue in this country with obesity. Listen, I have nothing against obese individuals. That's not what I'm trying to say. But we have a very unhealthy society. We push garbage food, etc. There's pollution in the air, pollution in the water. People go to fast food all the time. It's not good for our nation, and I think like a half of our nation is considered obese and unhealthy. I care about that because I care about people's health, not because I care that they're obese. I care about people's health, and I want people to feel good, but that's their own decision. And this movie is a lot about that. That's why it spoke to me in that way. Byron says, I am learning that too, and hence why I make videos to try and learn to be. I'll have to check out some of those videos, Byron. Good for you. Heard things about whales. Yeah. Well, this isn't about whales per se. This is about a man who is as big as a whale. It's meant to be offensive right out the gate, and meant to explore those ideas and what compels people to continue eating. And it's a disease. It's an addiction. And I think people need help and need guidance. And when we affirm people who are unhealthy, obesity is unhealthy. And I think when we affirm that in the West, as we've done for the last 10 years, I think that's a dangerous road to go down. And maybe it's good intentions, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Byron says, I'll have to watch that. I am easily moved, but it is lovely too. Yes. Lucy says, haven't watched it, but I have heard very good things. Yes. I think it is very emotional too. Mental health would help, I believe. That all of this goes into that, Byron. I think when you're unhealthy and obese or addicted to anything, it affects your mental health and your emotional health. And this is a movie about a man who a lot of people love, who is disgustingly morbidly obese, guys. Like, the scenes where he's eating in this film are tragic. They're disgusting, but they're also tragic and pitiful, And you feel so much for this character who everybody that loves him around him is trying to get him to think about what he's doing, to think about his family, and he can't change. It falls into I believe that humans don't change unless they want to change. I believe other people have an effect on that. They may nudge, they may push in the right direction, they may lead a man or a woman to water, but they can't force that horse to drink, you know, as the old adage says. And I believe that you can't change people. People have to change, but you can help them. You can help them on that road. You could plant the seeds of their change. And that's what this movie really explores and is about. And it is tragic, guys. It is a tragic film. I really want to watch it again because it's such a powerhouse performance by Brendan Fraser. Do I wish this was a Blu-ray? Absolutely, but I'm happy to have this film on DVD. It's not a very visual film anyway. It could have been a stage play. In fact, I think it was a stage play, if I'm not mistaken, based on the play by Samuel Hunter. So there you go. And it's also written by Samuel Hunter. This film has a lot to say, guys. A lot to say. And I believe this film was shot in 4:3, if I'm not mistaken. So, really, really interesting film that will rip your heart out, stomp on it, and then throw it in the trash. And about human nature, about humans' inability to change, but also the small possibility that you can. You know, I believe that. I believe even the most hopeless people can be redeemed. Those are old Catholic Christian ideas that I grew up with, sure, but I think they apply. And The Whale is absolutely incredible. So I can't recommend that enough, guys. The Whale is a great movie to end on. All right, well, that's going to do it, folks. I'm going to read a little bit. I'm reading a book right now about the Templars, the Knights Templars, which is right now recounting the history of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam in very, very detailed fashion here. And then we're going to get into the story about the Templars, which I know the gist of the Templars. I know how they start. I know how they lived, prosperous for about 100 years, and then I know how they were wiped out by French kings when the Templars' power kind of threatened their own. It's all political, baby. All political. Every interaction with humans is political. The more you know about politics and the way that humans operate in those spheres, the more you know about human nature, which is why I study it greatly. Anyway, guys, I will see you all next time. I want to thank you so much for coming out to this live stream. All of you guys that interacted in the chat. Thank you, Byron. Thank you, Jolly Good. Thank you, Mr. Bob. I'm forgetting some of the Brandon Chow. You know, all my friends out here. Gongshi, thank you guys. Lucy, of course, thank you so much for coming out. And thanks, guys. Oh, I can't do my Barney impression now. I'm on the spot. I love you. There you go. I love you. You love me. We're a happy family. Oh my God, what have I done? Well, thank you guys for the support. You know, I really appreciate you all. I will see you all very soon. I'm going to get away from, I think, next week doing, like, these pickup videos. I might do 2. I want to do, like, a more centered film. I've been watching a lot of mob films lately, so maybe I'll do something like that where we can talk about some specific genre or something, guys. But thank you all so much for coming out. I love you all very much, and I will see you very soon. The Bored Cyborg. Oh, yeah, hit that thumbs up button, guys. Hit that thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this around to your friends. All of that stuff really, really is appreciated. I'll see you next time, guys. Bored Cyborg is out.